Okay, so we've already identified a bird that has line attached, which is the main reason why we actually do pelican time. We don't need to feed these birds. They're all very capable of feeding themselves. And that's just a bonus with Arnie. So, but pelican time gives us a chance to actually get the birds to come up onto the platform and for us to be able to check them out, see if there are any injuries. Most of what we see are fishing related. This is just a container of some of the things that we've got off the birds here at Pelican Time in just the last few months. So unfortunately what happens is that the bird can be entangled in the line, if it's line that's left hanging around, or active tissue. They will go after a free feed. So if they think they can steal fish off a fisherman, you can see they have no fear. Now you'll also see a bird here on the left of the platform as you're looking at it that only has 1 foot. We've named him Kevin Bacon, and he came to us about 18 months ago with fishing line wrapped around that leg, and he's trying to bite Rob as we go past. Now it took quite some time to actually be able to catch Kevin, and by the time we did, his foot had actually fallen off. So, but he stayed with us for about 6-7 weeks in care, making sure all his vet visits that stump was healing well, and he's feeding and swimming, he's flying. He's doing really, really well. We like seeing him come back. He's like a terrible also to monitor what's going on with them. So we do. The question we do get asked quite a bit is why don't we see baby pelicans? Well, we do. It's just that they look slightly different. They're the same size as their parents by the time they're about 24 weeks of age. But the difference is their feathers will be of a brown colour, not black, and their necks will be very, very pale. So don't get their black feathers and their dark. Now, pelicans can actually breed all year round. We do have a breeding island here on the Central Coast. It's just down at the Lulu. It's actually, funnily enough, called Pelican Island, which is off limits to people. The only things that are allowed on that island are pelicans. So there are a couple of birds here at the moment that are showing mating colours. They're mating for anything up to 24 hours or more. They can go up to about 1,000 feet, 1,000 metres, really high, and they glide. So they'll get into the thermals and just stay there. They can stay on both freshwater and saltwater, so wherever there's an estuary, anywhere that can hold fish, you'll find pelicans. That pelican that's snapping at everyone is actually a juvenile male that we've known for about 12 months now. And we've named him Arnie because he's an absolute destroyer. He fights everything. We've all got scars from him. But he's about a year old now, so he's like a tempestuous toddler. So we're still trying to see if we can get that bird with the line to come close enough. So why we've been competing to get these birds up on the platform, someone very interestingly decided to feed them some bread. Now, okay, so bread is no good for any wildlife. So if you do have bread, I'm with you when you're wanting to try and feed the wildlife, please don't. Put your bread in the bin if you're not going to eat it, because it is no good for any wildlife to eat. All it does is fill them up
and then they don't get the nutrients and vitamins that they need to keep either growing or doing what they do as healthy animals. And the breed's no good for the water system either. So, yeah, a bit disappointing to see that a heap of breed went in, and the bird that we were actually after raced up to try and get some. So Marine Wildlife Rescue, we dedicate our time as volunteers to rescue the injured birds here on the Central Coast. And I mean, not just pelicans, we look after a range of marine wildlife. We have had a couple of birds in care. As Brenda had told you before, we had Kevin, who was missing the foot. He was in care for quite a while. If we're able to catch that bird that's got the fishing hook and line obviously in his body, our main aim is to just try and relieve it of the hook and then hopefully release straight away. But if that's not possible, we do have a vet that we take the birds to, and they'll help fix the birds up and then they'll come into rehab. So any help you can give us with donations, we do gratefully appreciate it. We've got little Lizzie standing in front of Michelle at the moment. You might notice her, especially if you're over the right-hand side, she's got a dropped wing. We have rescued her. She did have a fishing hook and line injury in the wing, which was the reason why her wing has dropped like it is now. She ended up with arthritis. She still can fly and get herself out of stride, but her wing will always remain down like that now. So we make sure we keep an eye on our birds that we have rescued.